Hi, everybody. Nicole here from Angel Foods and Cake Business School. I hope everybody is having an awesome week. I'm jumping on today to do a live to talk about a tool that I personally use in my baking business. And I know you've heard me talk about it. Rebecca also, well, Rebecca's actually the one that introduced me to it. But what I am talking about is Bake Diary. So, Bake Diary is a cake pricing and order management software application. It is the leading cloud based software for cake decorators and bakers all over the world to help manage the administrative side of your cake business. They offer a 2-week free trial for all new users. And I actually have a surprise for you guys. I have a promo code that I'm going to give you at the end of the video, and I'll also post it in the comments if you're watching on the replay to help you save 15% if you decide to go past that 2-week trial, which I really hope you do. The subscription cost after the trial, it's billed out in euros. It's 6.95 euros per month. Or if you do the annual option, which is actually a better deal, and a better deal using the promo code, is 69.5 euros on an annual basis. And they currently support over 37 currencies, including US dollars, which is what I use. I'm in the US, Australian dollars, Great Britain pounds, Canadian dollars, euro, and more. So, what I want to do today is just kind of give you guys a demo of some of the awesome features that Bake Diary offers that I personally use. Some I don't use because it's so powerful. There's things I didn't even know were in there that I was really excited to find. So I'm going to just dive right in. So what I have on the screen that you can see here is my demo account. And look at this. I'm logged in. Hi, Nicole. What's cooking? Good looking. I love it. So this is the dashboard, and what you can see is, because this is a demo account, there's some setup options that I haven't gone through all the steps yet. I left it because I wanted to show you guys this is what it would look like for you when you first create an account. So the first thing is to enter your account details, which is basically your business name, your logo, which I want to talk about for a second. This is one of the things that attracted me to Bake Diary, was the ability to upload my logo for my cake business. That is then going to show up on every communication that I have with my customers through quoting and orders. It'll show up on the printables that I'm going to go through. It just really helps. A lot of us are home-based bakers, or we're smaller businesses, or we're just getting started, and you really want to put yourself out there and show that you are legitimate business, you're professional, you have your branding that goes throughout everything. It just really helps with your professional image. So that is one thing that I really love, along with many other things. But at any rate, you choose your preferences. In here would be where you're going to set up like your profit margin rate, your hourly rate, ingredients and supplies, recipes, creating an order. We're going to go through a lot of these. So that's kind of the setup stuff. And then what else is shown on your dashboard is just a kind of a snapshot of your week's orders. So I do have, again, this is a demo account, so there's not much in here, but I do have an order created for this week for Jane Doe. And you can see it'll show you also scheduled payments. So it looks like Jane didn't pay her $25 partial payment, and then she's going to owe another 20. But it'll show you that, which is good for helping you track if you collect deposits, which I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do collect deposits when someone's booking an order, you would put that in as a scheduled payment so you can see, well, you know, Jane hasn't paid her deposit. I need to reach out to her so she doesn't lose her spot. It also will show the monthly summary, shows what your monthly total is for orders booked, how much is outstanding, meaning that you haven't been paid for yet, anything overdue. You can search for a specific order by order number. And then this, I love this, business performance. Now, again, it's a demo account, so there's not much on here, but it's just a very quick snapshot of a bar graph to show you how your business is doing with total sales month by month. And I absolutely love it. And you can also get to this information from some reporting, but it's so nice to just have like a quick snapshot. And if I hover over it, you can see that it shows a little more detail about the information shown on the bar graph. So I'm just going to start working my way down the navigation bar here on the left-hand side of the screen. If I click on orders and quotes, it's going to bring up, it'll default to the current month's calendar. So you can see it's showing January 2020. And then if I scroll down, I'm going to see any orders or quotes that are during this time period. So you can see there's Jane Doe. Now, if I wanted to see what I have for next month, I can just click forward. You'll see these red crossed out dates. That's a cool feature that you can actually block out dates on your calendar. So if you know that you're going to be out of town or not available, you can block out time so that when you go into your bake diary, if you go to generate a quote, those dates won't be available. Just to kind of an extra reminder so you don't, you know, overbook yourself. But if I had orders during the month, which again, it's a demo account, so I don't, there's really nothing there. But so I can create a new order right from here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So in the upper right hand, create new order. So this brings up an order. You're going to start with your event details and then kind of work your way through the quote or order. Here's a drop down of all the customers that are currently added. I've got 3 customers in there. If I wanted to go ahead and add a new customer from here, I could certainly do that right from here. I just hit new customer and I can put everything in there. Actually going to show you adding a new customer from the customer navigation window in a minute, but let's just do an order for John Doe. Actually, instead of an order, let's do a quote for John Doe. So you would only pick order if you knew for sure that the person, they're absolutely booking with you. There's no question about it. But let's just do a quote. So for John, we'll do a quote. Now here's your order number, or quote number in this case. Bake Diary will automatically count up on your order numbers. And so you can just let it default to do that. That's totally fine. Or if you have your own order numbering system that you'd like to use, you can override it. So I personally, what I do, and again, this is just personal preference, it's just what I do. Let's say John wants a cake for February 1st, and that's the first quote I've done. I actually number my quotes by, so let's go 02/01/2020. So that's February 1st of 2020. I know us Americans do dates backwards from everyone else in the world. That's how we do it. And then I'm going to say -1 because that's my first quote for February 20th. And again, this is just what I do. You do not have to do this. February. So here's where I'm going to put under the date. I'm not putting today's date. I'm putting the date of the event. Bake Diary will have the date the quote or invoice was generated automatically, but this is the date of the event. And let's just say it's a birthday, and let's just say he wants a chocolate drip cake for 10 guests. All right. So that's kind of your basic details. Now, is he going to collect it from you? So is he going to pick it up or are you going to deliver it? Let's just say we're going to deliver it, and here you'd put where you're delivering it to. So we'll just say 123 Main Street, Anytown, USA. And time. So if you know the exact time, you can put it in. Let's say 10 a.m. If I don't know at the moment when I'm doing the quote when they'll need it, I'll just put TBD, which is short for to be determined. But we'll just pretend like we know it's going to be 10 a.m. If you have an image that you want to upload and attach to the quote or the invoice, like say they sent you a picture of a cake that they like, that they want to kind of use as inspiration, or they sent you, if you're trying to customize a cake, say you wanted to replicate their favorite hat or something. Anyway, any kind of image file you can upload. You can just choose, and then it'll go to your computer navigation to where you can pick it, attach it, and then it'll show up as part of the PDF when the quote gets either emailed or downloaded. So that's an interesting feature. It's kind of nice if you want to make sure you're kind of all on the same page. So now here's where you're going to build the actual details of the order, like what they're ordering. This is really important to see that there's two different ways to do it. There's a quick add, which is what I personally do currently, and there's add item. The difference between the two is quick add, and I'm just going to do this first. This has got some just already kind of preset categories of what they're going to order, which is nice. Cookies, cakes, cake pops, cupcakes, donuts, all kinds of things. Let's just say he's going to do a cake. I'm going to say it's a 6-inch round. You can pick, if it's a square or a heart, or there's other options here. You can also add your own option. I do that a lot if I'm doing a custom sculpted type cake. I can add an option right there, so it's a little more descriptive. But let's just say he wants a chocolate cake. And again, there's a whole list of things that are already in there, but you can add your own options here. You can do it right from here, or you can do it in another in settings of the software too. But let's just say he's going to get a chocolate cake with chocolate buttercream and chocolate. We'll go chocolate all the way. And then down here, you're going to put your design details. So we're just going to say chocolate cake with dark chocolate drip. We'll just say. Okay, so if it was a multi-tier cake, which this one's not, but I could just click add a tier and see here it's added a second tier. So it's going to save the information from your first tier, but let's just say I was going to do, well, I'll add an 8-inch tier, and you can change if the tier is going to be a different flavor, you can do that. If it's going to be a different design, you can do that, or if it's the same. But I'm not going to do that because we're just doing a single tier for now. But I use that all the time when I'm doing wedding cakes or multi-tiered cakes. Okay, down here you're going to see the cost and the sell price and tax rate. So because it's a quick add, I'm just going to say I'm going to charge him $50 for that. And here, the tax rate you would set up in the settings, and you can put in multiple rates. So we'll just pretend like it's 15%. So now you can see it's calculating the total of $57.50. And I could click add cake, and that's going to put that right onto the order. Now what I want to mention is this cost price here. This is, okay, I mentioned I do the quick add because before I started using Bake Diary, I already had my costs worked out kind of in a separate spreadsheet. So I didn't take the time to put all my details in. But if I knew that, so if I pull up my spreadsheet and I know my cost is, say, I don't know, we'll just say $5. Now, if I click add cake, now it's on the quote. So I've got all my details here, but I also have down here gross profit. So it's telling me that my gross profit is $52.50. Now, that's just based on ingredients and supplies, just that cost number that I put in there. If I take that out, let's say I don't know, see how you can either delete an item or edit it? I'm just going to edit it. I'm going to just take that out. We'll just say I don't know what my cost is, and I update it. So now it's telling me that all the money I make is gross profit, which we know is not correct. This is a good lesson in, there's an old adage in database management that says garbage in, garbage out. What that means is if you, the software is only going to calculate as accurately as you give it the information to do so. So if you want to really use the full capability of it, you want to make sure that you are entering in your correct costs for things. And then you'll know, okay, well, on this cake, I made this much. Now, I will explain gross profit. That only takes into account just your supplies and ingredients. It doesn't take into account your time or your overhead. So like your rent and your utilities and your insurance and your licenses, it doesn't take that into account. So this is just telling me on this particular cake, I'm making, that much money from over the cost of my ingredients. Now I'm going to show you on a different order how, or actually I can just show you on this order. So remember I said you could delete something? Well, let's just delete this and remove it. It's that easy. So now I don't have anything on the order. Now I want to show you the other way to add things to your orders, which is the add item option. It's a little more detailed. So this area is where you're going to pick what it is. It's a cake. I'm just going to put in my basic description. Chocolate cake with dark chocolate. Sorry, see my typing when I know people are watching. Dark chocolate drip. All right. Drip cake. Okay. Let's say it's going to be 12 servings because I know it's a 6-inch. Now here I could put in, if I have an hourly rate I wanted to put in, or if I know my overhead amount, I could put that in. I'm going to show you in a different area where you can actually calculate those. But what I wanted to show you here is, see how it's got this add recipes or add supplies. I'm going to click on add recipe. So now if I have recipes in here, if I just start typing, and actually, okay, I have a 9-inch chocolate cake recipe in there. Let's just say, because I know I'm only doing a 6-inch, you can actually change the quantity. So let's say I'm going to do about 3/4 of a recipe. And now, because this recipe is in there, it gives me my cost. So now that's in there. See, now supplies, let's say I'm going to need a board. Whoops. You search for what you've got in there. Let me see. There we go. A drum, it's called. All right, we need a cake board and a box. There we go. Just to add that in there. So now we've got recipes and supplies. So that's telling me that my cost is $13.80. And then it'll tell you per serving, because you told it was 12 servings, it's $1.15 for your per serving price. That's what it costs you in supplies and ingredients to make that cake. Well, now I want to charge him. I need to charge him. So I can either do sell price and say, all right, I'm going to charge him $50. Or I could say price per serving. I want to charge him $5 a serving, whatever, and it calculates it here at the bottom. But I'm going to just do sell price because I think I said I was going to charge him $50. And we'll say the tax was 15%. Now, if I add that to the item or to the order or the quote, here we go. And see, now it's telling me my gross profit is $43.70 because it has taken into account the recipe cost for what I need for this order. So I'm going to go ahead and just let it save that. And down here, you can add a little extra information if you want. Sometimes if I'm doing a quote and I don't put the sales tax on there, I'll say sales tax not included or something like that. But I'm going to save it. And so now I've successfully created that order. It's a quote, actually. It calls it order, but we know it's a quote. So this is what it looks like. You have a little order log down here. It tells me I created it on that date and time. I can download a job sheet, which is something that you would print like when you go to get ready to make the cake. You can add tasks that are associated with this order. You can add, once it's an actual order, you can add a scheduled payment. So if you collect deposits, now you can download it and it'll download a PDF. You can email it, which is awesome. So I can email this quote to John Doe, add my note. It'll send me a copy, and that way he can take a look and see if he wants to book with you. Let's say that he does, because you're awesome and he totally wants you to make his chocolate drip cake. Well, all you're going to do is convert it to an order. Well, now it's an order, which means if I go up here, see, now it's gone from quote to order. It is an invoice now. So now you could download the invoice, but you can email him the invoice. But here's the best part. You can add, say you want to collect, say, a $25 deposit. You can add a scheduled payment. Now, if you're going to do a deposit, you'd call that a booking fee. When do you want it to be due? I always make it due the day because I want that. I want them to know they need to book me on that day. So let's say I want $25. I add it. And so now when he gets this emailed invoice and he opens it, when he goes down, and that's through the customer portal, he'll see that he has the option to pay either the full amount, which I would never say no if somebody wanted to pay the full amount, or at the very least, they can click to pay their booking fee. And if you have either a Square account or a Stripe account to collect credit card payment, you can link that to your Bake Diary account and accept payment right from the invoice. I do that, and it's awesome. And then it's just, again, another thing to make you more professional, helps with, cash flow and managing and getting that money in so you can do your business. So I think that is, then let's say he pays you not through the email. He just mails you a check. So you can click add payment. Let's say he mailed you a check for the booking fee, which was $25. He did it today. It's fine. And then down here you can say, well, he paid by check. And then you save the payment. And so now that has updated it. So it shows the total. Now it shows the outstanding amount is only $32.50. So that's how you do that. And then when he pays the final payment, you add that. If you have your Stripe or Square account hooked up to it and they pay through there, Bake Diary automatically notes that for you. And that would be shown down in the log down here too. And once you have a payment in there, you can send them a payment receipt. So it's just a PDF that you can send them. Let's go now down into contacts. I was just going to show you quickly here, when you add a new contact, you have a few more options than just adding their name and email and number and address. Down here, you can add notes for personal information, like if they have allergies or preferences, but you can also add, look at this, add a date. Let's say their anniversary is January 1st. So you can put anniversary, you can click add a reminder in the calendar, and if you add that date to that customer, Now you're going to have a reminder in your calendar when that's coming up. So that's huge. That can help you with forecasting and trying to do some marketing where you can reach out to them, maybe a month or a couple weeks before and say, hey, I know you're, happy anniversary coming up. Can I offer you a quote? So that's a cool thing in contacts. Let's see, task list is pretty straightforward. There's one, remember when I said we could add a task in an order? Jane Doe has a task associated with her order, or you can just add a general task to kind of help keep you on track. Calendar is going to show you this. It will automatically populate with all your orders that you have and anything else that you've put on your calendar. And you can print it, you can add things. As I told you, you can block time out. That's pretty straightforward. Recipes and ingredients. Okay, so this is where you would build your build the recipes that you could add to your orders. You can also bundle things together. Bake Diary has an awesome master ingredient list that they've already loaded in here that you can pick from. So you can customize any of these. And that's one of the awesome things that I love about Bake Diary is it's so customizable. Oh, before I forget, speaking of customizable, something really important I don't want to forget to tell you. In your settings, you can put, it comes with a kind of generic order terms and conditions. You can change this to be whatever your terms and conditions are. That's another thing, super important, guys. Please have terms and conditions. It protects you. It's more professional. It's just so much easier to have that in writing. Bake Diary will have every quote and every invoice that you send to a customer is going to automatically have your terms and conditions attached to it. So important because it will protect you in the event of, anything they cancel on you or something goes wrong after it's left your hands. If you don't have all of those contingencies in your T's and C's that they have received, then it just opens you up for some trouble. So I didn't, that's really important. I did not want to forget that. But anyway, in here you can add, pick from the master ingredients or you can add your own. And here, when you add a new ingredient, you can put in the cost price and the size amount. And you can also do down here when you're adding a new ingredient, there's this volume or weight value. So if you have that unclicked, it doesn't give you that option, but you can convert it. So I recommend having that clicked when you're putting in a new ingredient. And then say you don't know exactly or you don't have a receipt. An easy thing when you're putting in your recipes, just block out some time because it will take some time, but it'll be worth it. Have another tab open on your computer to say, do you shop at Costco? Do you shop at Walmart? Do you shop at King Soopers? Wherever you get your supplies and ingredients, just have another tab open so you can kind of quickly search, okay, how much is butter at Walmart? Okay, it's about this. And I know prices vary, but you can update as needed, but just to put in at least a ballpark so that when you're putting in your recipes, and then you're putting that on a quote or an invoice, you get a more correct calculation of what your profit actually is, your gross profit. And then, so recipe book is where you'd have this is where all the recipes that are created are listed. Ingredients, supplies list. So again, ribbon, fondant if you don't make your own. If you do make your own fondant, you put that in as a recipe. And you can bundle things together. All right, now reports and lists. The most important thing to mention here, I've already said it, garbage in, garbage out. Most of the reports well, all the reports, they're only going to pull information if they know what you tell it to pull, basically. So, well, some of the reports are usable even if you don't do that, like the order list, the quote list. But baking list, this is cool. So look at this. It pulls up a time period and it knows that I need to do an 8-inch round vanilla cake and the 9-inch chocolate cake, whatever I'm doing. So I can save it as a PDF, print it off, and then put it on my kitchen wall, and I know that's what I got to bake for the week. So that's good. Baking list by type, if you wanted to see, if you had cakes and cookies and all kinds of different things. Shopping list. Okay, this one is not going to populate if you don't have recipes in there, because if you just do the quick add like I do currently, which I'm going to change, it doesn't know. But this is really cool because it's just a quick pull together of, okay, for this week, I know I need all of these things. So you can just save it as a PDF, print it off, cross out what you know you don't need, and it just really helps manage your time. Task list is pretty straightforward. Okay, income statement. Again, this is only going to have expenses against your sales if you put those expenses in. So right now there's nothing on this. So an income statement is basically your sales less your expenses and your net income or loss. So let's see what else we got in here. Breakdown by order type or event type, payments by period, a summary expense report, detailed expense report, custom expense report. Again, you have to put those expenses in. But a mileage report is good too for your taxes to write off your mileage. But what I wanted to show you really quickly, breakdown by order type. So this is really, I like this. This will show for any specific time period, how many cookie orders did you have? How many cakes did you have? How many cake pops? All of those things. So you can kind of see, get a gauge for what are your best sellers? What are you doing the most of? And then on that same token, you can do by event type, which is also very useful information. How many birthdays did you have? How many weddings? How many anniversaries? So, you can change this date range and see what you had during any of those times. And that's just useful information for managing your business and maybe forecasting orders and things like that. Expenses and mileage, I think we already kind of talked about that. Track expenses, like you can put in recurring expenses. So Bake Diaries in there as a membership, so it knows that this is a monthly cost, and the ingredients, this was just a one-time thing. And mileage, same thing. You put it in there, and then you can generate a report. Okay, one of my favorite parts, the printables. These are cutting guides, and as I've said before, you upload your logo and you have all your account information in there. When you print off a cutting guide for your customers, when they either pick it up or you deliver it, it's got your branding on it. And I tried this earlier, and unfortunately, when I download this, it's not going to show on the Facebook Live. But if I were to click on this, it's going to download a PDF of this cutting guide, and it will have the logo and all that info on there. And I'm sorry I can't show you that in the Facebook Live. It's just the way my screen sharing is working. But trust me, it's fabulous. I can do a screenshot and put it in the comments just so you can see it. And you can pick from round, square, sheet cakes. And then labels, you can print allergen labels, which is important. I operate under cottage foods, so I'm required to have labeling on all my products that say all the specific allergens that could potentially be in the product. And there's a fridge temperature log as well. Okay, now we're down to some extra stuff that's really cool that I personally didn't even know was in here. And now I'm like super excited. Portion calculator is pretty self-explanatory, but let's say I'm doing a 10-inch round and it's going to be the 2x2 dessert size. If I click that, Okay, well, that's going to give me 19 servings. And then let's say I want to add an 8-inch as well. So this is awesome for planning, um, you know, calculating for pricing. But I love that. And then you can clear it out, do new ones. So that's that. The tin conversion calculator, you can actually, when you're doing a recipe, say you already have a recipe in there and then you want to change the size. So like say the recipe's for a 9-inch round, but you're going to bake a 12-inch square. So all you have to do is you put in um, the recipe, you pull it up, you put in your existing baking tin and put in what you're going to, and then you convert it and it'll tell you exactly, it updates your recipe so that you know quantities of what you need to do. So that's cool. Um, Overhead, I'm going to show you my favorite thing last, but overheads calculator, that will be where you can put in your average monthly amount for all your overheads, which are anything that's not directly associated with a cake order. So electricity, water, gas, rent, insurance, licenses, all that kind of stuff. And you put in your monthly amount, and then you can select your calculation method as a percentage based on cost of the order or as a fixed price, and then calculate it, and that'll you can save those values in there. Okay, here's my favorite part. I totally did not know this was in here. I discovered it, and it is so cool. This is a cake template designer. So let's say that I'm doing a wedding cake and I want to do a double barrel 6-inch round, and then I'm going to do a 8-inch hexagon, and then, well, let's just see what it does. So then I'm going to delete these layers. All right, now when I click draw, watch this. Oh, how cool is that? So it sketches it out for you. And so then what you can do is you can add decorations if you want. There's some little flowers and leaves and bows and drapes and edible things. You can add textures. Or you can also, let's just say that you want to download it and just print off the PDF if you want to like sketch by hand, like use some colored pencils or something. But you can add text. And I was just like, oh my God, this was so cool. Because I don't know about you guys, but I can't draw. when I have consultations and I draw cakes for brides, and then I think, okay, please don't judge my cake design and decorating skills based on my drawing skills. But isn't that cool? So, and then, here's your basic account and your settings we already talked about. The help has lots of great information. Videos, if you need help, anytime you can find videos, or you can just reach out to support. I can tell you that among just so many things about the functionality and the software itself, I love that Bake Diary is constantly doing improvements and updates and handling feature requests, and their support is amazing. Anytime I've had any issues, which has been very seldom, I've reached out and they are on it. They really do care about the product and having it, function the way we want it to function. And it's such a great product. It really is a great application and tool. And I would love for you guys to all try it. So that being said, again, I mentioned at the beginning, you can create an account and have a 2-week free trial. No cost at all. If you try it out and you don't love it, just cancel before that 2 weeks is up. You won't be charged a cent. But if you do love it, which I think you will, make sure that you use the promo code, and I will post this in the comments, but you can get 15% off your subscription. The best way to utilize that is to do the annual, because you'll get 15% of the annual price. If you do the monthly, you just get 15% off your first month. But the code is CBS, like Cake Business School. So CBS 15. So C like cat, B like boy, S like Sam, 15. 5 and you will get 15% off. And I love this product. I think it's awesome. I'm so happy that Rebecca introduced it to me. I've been using it for over a year. They've added so many features. And again, I'm not even scratching the surface of what it's capable of. And I'm absolutely going to start using more of the features. So you guys, please leave any questions or comments below, and I will be happy to help with anything I can. If I can't answer it, I know Bake Diary will be happy to answer any questions too. But just check it out. 2 weeks free. What do you have to lose? So I hope you enjoyed the live demo. Hopefully it didn't take too much time, but it's just so awesome. I just have so much to show you. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your week. And remember, it's time to live your sweet business dreams. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.